Stories, like blades, have to be balanced and honed. You must remember it is almost as easy to cut yourself as your target if you are not careful.
Back to riddles. If all talked like council, nothing would get done.
Words, my friend, can be the deadliest weapon. A carefully placed whisper here, or a loose tongue at the right table. Wars can be won and lost with the true victor never even landing a blow.
Such as the Blades of Erebos?
Very good, my lord. But the Blades were never afraid of getting their hands dirty when needed.
I would hear more of them than the rumors that swirl in fireside tales. Tell me the truth of them, Jorgen.
Well, as we are learning from history, or what passes for it in some places, let me tell you of the Blades of Erebos. 575, a fine year for fine wines, though the Aegean Peninsula is not particularly known for its grapes. But it was there and then that the Blade's existence came to light. You have all heard of the Twilight Covenant, the end of the Elder Wars after decades of death and destruction. But Erebos, the master of assassins, believed only in shadow and conflict. The Faceless knew they could not contain him, for Erebos was with death, as a drunk is to wine, so they sealed him away forever. Or so they thought. With freedom, Erebos needed like-minded souls on his quest for vengeance, and the elf Salvin's pain called to him. So Erebos took him and his two disciples, Viron and Malwen. Malwen was as a daughter to Salvin, and it's true, she thought she was of his blood, while Viron was hungry with a fanaticism born from youth, a more than willing disciple to the cause. With these disparate souls were forged the Blades of Erebos.
There is much work to be done, and I fear we are too few. Seek out Adjit of the Black Fang. The Thieves' Guild will profit greatly from our work here.
So it's only right they share the burden of labor.
Brother, you would have everyone at each other's throats.
Why risk our own people when others can so easily be persuaded to do our bidding without a mention of us on their lips? These are lessons you two should learn well. Now, we have much to discuss. We find ourselves amongst an abundance of unenlightened foes. Orcs, wizards, and elves all jockeying for position to claim the peninsula.
It will be a simple task to have them each baying for the other's blood.
True, but there is still much to be done to ensure success. Go now, and meet with Adjit. Plant the seeds of suspicion, and let the fire of vengeance burn amongst our enemies. Let them tear themselves apart.
So, what is it to be?
You offer a tempting proposition, my young friend. Such a plan.
Such a plan will allow you to have the run of the Aegean Peninsula.
True, and my purse could always use the extra coins. But tell me, my friend, what is in it for you?
That is none of your business, thief.
No offence, pretty lady, but if we are to be business partners, there should be some honesty. I know it is me saying this, but true, yes?
Hush, little sister. As our friend says, we are partners, and partners should not have secrets. I wish to see their blood drain into the sand, their homes consumed by fire. I will toast their ruin with goblets of their own tears as their children twist in the wind. Do we understand each other?
Yes, my friend. Partners it is. But forgive me if I don't invite you to my children's weddings.
Shadow. The blades had now fanned the flames of fear in the peninsula. As caravans burned, they left sylvan arrows in flesh and wood, while others split skulls of tradesmen with orc axes. Traditional enemies, turning their combined attention on the Empire. This would present a frightening conundrum for the Imperial Governor. Standing amongst their fallen brothers and sisters, Viron allowed himself a smile, happy that the blood of so many sylvan elves was on his hands. The Black Fang Guild glided amongst the fallen, placing orc bodies and weapons. When the traps were all baited, Viron and Malwen allowed themselves a moment in the eye of the storm they were creating. In a small way, they saw this as part of their vengeance against the Sylvan Elves, who had framed them for the murder of the High King and the burning of the Mother of Trees. Now the hunted had become the hunter, and a steely fervor gripped Viron. There was no turning from this path now. Not that he would even consider it. Nothing was sacred to Viron. The chaos he unleashed sustained him as a banquet to a court. He was a true disciple of Erebos. Their enemy was taken unaware. Their cherished forest, in parts ashen, burnt with the bodies of the ancient revered treants that dwelled within those groves. It was but a simple task to lay blame at the feet of the League. The wizards were always after materials for their constructs. And what could be better material than a living wood? Now they had only the elves to deal with. Viron was almost licking his lips in anticipation. So like a dash of cream and naga tea, an alliance was formed. Complementary, beneficial, but could probably use a spot of honey. Sorry, was thinking of the tea there. Or was I? With the raid on the wizard's mine successful, Viron and Malwen went about planting evidence of Imperial troops' involvement, while Ajit and the Black Fang Guild told tales in taverns and chatted with those who worked the land and the sea. Strange seeing troops of the Empire this far south, they'd say. And eager tongues would reply, I heard they covered the riches from the mines that the wizards work. And it is that simple. For everyone likes a story after a long, hard day. And there's no better story than gossip and rumor. And a good rumor travels faster than the fastest horse. As fast as a forest fire.
Viron, what's going on? It is time for triumph. Why the sour face? What news did the messenger bring?
Our plans in Carthel have failed. And both Erebos and Salvin have died in the battle.
Father!
Shh! You will always be blood to me, fear not.
I have no fear in my heart, for it is now carved from ice. My tears but drain the last of my compassion.
I miss them both too. They were more than a father to me, and to you. To all of you. Our mentors may be gone, but with us they have left a legacy the world will not soon forget. And though we ply our trade in blood for coin, the chaos that we reap is our true reward.
It takes many things to make a fine wine. First, you have to start with the soil. But most of all, it takes time. Generations to cultivate the perfect vines and process. And the blades had time. Time to distill themselves into a potent brew of discord. Down through the centuries, wherever there was strife, there lurked the blades. The blades would undermine alliances and treaties, sabotage all attempts at fostering unity. They would strike at anyone claiming to possess the one and only truth. They were as smoke and shadow, but cut like glass, leaving jagged wounds across the face of Ashan. Only dissent and disunion could be allowed, for these were the ways of Malassa, and the will of Erebos. I have always been impressed by those who work the fields and vineyards. Preparation and time are everything. An artist in any form should never be rushed.
Kente not know if you talk of food or the blades.
A little of both, my friend.
Please, continue. Although I see the wisdom in your words, time is a luxury I have not been afforded.
Even when pushed, my lord, a man should not rush to judgment. Would you consider drinking a freshly pressed wine? No. It would be as piss and vinegar in your cup. To the Blades, it was less than 20 years past when they mistakenly showed their hand after so long hidden.
It has been many years, my sweetest friend, but we are finally here.
We have waited longer than we should. My father cries for vengeance against them.
Timing. Timing is everything.
Time? Those that killed our fathers are long since worm food.
But their descendants survive, and time has given us the perfect opportunity.
How so?
Tensions have never been higher between the Silver Cities and the Greyhound Duchy. The border has been in dispute now for decades, and in recent years the tension has escalated. Fighting has even broken out. All it would take on our part is a little spark to ignite a border war.
I've always liked setting fires.
And so you shall. All we need to do is take a fort of each power. These larger attacks will put the wizards and duchy on their guard.
No survivors?
No survivors.